It was a packed schedule for Prime Minister Andrew Holness last week, addressing crime, supporting investments, ensuring proper development planning, and securing tenure. You're watching Jamaica House Weekly. I'm Marjorie Gordon. In his capacity as Minister of Defense, Prime Minister Andrew Holness took decisive actions last week to curb ongoing gang violence that claimed the lives of several persons, including 3 children. Among the measures declared was placing the entire parish of St. James under a state of public emergency.
Government must respond, and the fact that these things keep recurring is more so a testament to the nature of the beast that we tackle. It is also very clearly demonstrating that when we act and we are not supported in action by the extension of the emergency powers to finally bring to heal the beast, then the problem continues.
Prime Minister Holness also gave orders for swift amendments to the Offences Against the Person Act and further adjustments to the Firearms Act by year end. These will increase penalties for capital murder and illegal possession of firearms and bring clarity to certain provisions.
We have it within our purview in this House to create the deterrence, to use the laws to create the deterrence. Perpetrators must have no sympathy. They must face the full, unequivocal, unblunted force of the law.
The Prime Minister also had this to say about those who harbor criminals and those who know about criminal acts but fail to speak out.
I want to make that absolutely clear, that if we're going to really bring to heel the beast of crime that is loose in our land, the ecosystems that protect the criminal must also be dismantled.
He said amendments would be pursued for the common law provision, misprision of felony, which speaks to this type of offense.
They are under a duty under our existing law to come forward. It is an offense under common law for which several of our recent cases have been prosecuted using this common law provision. And we intend to utilize this much more in our pursuit to bring this terrible beast of murders under control.
On to infrastructural development. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says work has started on the rebuilding of town centres in 3 parishes. They are Morant Bay in St. Thomas, Port Antonio, Portland, and Bernard Lodge in St. Catherine. It's part of an island-wide initiative under which plans are being developed for Lucy in Hanover.
That town is definitely at risk. So it's not just about developing the town. We're going to have to look to redefining the boundaries of the town and maybe shifting some of the services and facilities there, including maybe a realignment of the roadway.
Assessment for Negril in Westmoreland is also part of the short-term plan.
That area we are now surveying it to find lands to see where we can put in a development that will bring order to that area.
Addressing stakeholders at a town planning symposium on Wednesday, the Prime Minister gave directives for the National Works Agency to increase its inspection of government buildings. The directive came on the heels of the 5.6 magnitude earthquake on October 30.
We have the engineering capacities. They're not all in government, but I think we need to leverage them. We will have to step up the inspections to make sure that we identify the gaps and weaknesses structurally before there is any other event or any other catastrophe that may come as an after event.
And as the country continues to construct taller buildings, Mr. Holness asserted that the inspection process must be more robust.
So I'm saying here publicly to the municipal authorities, to the planning authorities, that the requirements must be properly interrogated. And we know that even when we approve on paper, there are those who believe that their buildings are not going to be inspected and therefore they undercut and shortchange. For those people who continue to believe a narrative that nothing is happening, that's not true. Change is happening right before our very eyes.
Part of that change is the opening of a $30 million state-of-the-art production line at Pepsi Cola Jamaica in Kingston.
This expansion by Pepsi will no doubt contribute to even further improvement within the manufacturing sector. Manufacturing is a critical sector of our economy, and it is one of the drivers of job creation and economic growth.
Mr. Holness was also in Montego Bay for the opening of the $15 million Barnett Business Center.
No one takes up that magnitude of resources and makes that investment unless they were certain about the returns, unless they could calculate the risk, unless the environment was stable. I am certain that this new development is going to put even more pressure on our labor force for labor.
The delivery of houses was another priority for Prime Minister Holness in the past week. In Clarendon on Friday, 60 keys were handed over to proud recipients. These are part of the NHT's development in Hummingbird Meadows and Moneymusk Country Club.
The policy of the government as it relates to houses is to increase the pace at which we are bringing housing solutions to market, in conjunction with partnerships with the private sector.
Back at Jamaica House, Mr. Holness met with the newly appointed General Manager of the Inter-American Development Bank. The Prime Minister also met with junior mayors as the country observes Local Government Month. After a little history of the layers and functions of the Office of Mayors, he congratulated them on being chosen to represent their parish.
It is a distinct privilege to have that. It looks very lovely on your resumes. It shows that you have a very elevated sense of public participation and making a contribution to the development of your country. And I'm hopeful that many of you will use this as a springboard for entry into the political field. It is something to aspire to.
And that's it for Jamaica House Weekly. Be sure to join us next week for more of the news stories coming out of the office of the Prime Minister.